They say enemies come with swords, but the real danger hides behind smiles. It's not the one who fights you openly that breaks you. It's the one who stands beside you, whispers in your ear, and waits for the perfect moment to strike. You expect harm from a stranger, but when it comes from someone you trust, it cuts deeper. Betrayal isn't loud, it's silent. It's a hug that feels warm but leaves a scar. Fake love doesn't warn you, it disarms you. That's why the sharpest knife is the one you never see coming. Not everyone who stands by your side is there to support you. Sometimes the hand that pats your back is just measuring the perfect spot to drive the knife in. In life, we often confuse presence with loyalty, words with truth, and smiles with love. That's the illusion of friendship, where someone wears a mask so perfectly that you forget to look for the eyes behind it. True friendship is rare. It's not about daily messages, shared laughter, or standing in photos together. It's about presence when there's nothing to gain. It's about silence when they could have spread your secrets. Real friends are those who defend your name in rooms you're not in. Fake ones, they applaud you in the crowd but compete with you in their hearts. We seek emotional comfort. We're human. We want someone to understand us, to hold space for our pain, to listen without judgment. But in that search, we often ignore the red flags. The friend who always talks but never listens. The one who celebrates you in public and doubts you in private. The one who suddenly disappears when your life hits a low. These aren't friends. They're shadows, present when the sun is out but gone when darkness falls. Betrayal doesn't begin with a stab, it starts with a smile, with a little jealousy left unspoken, with a silent comparison, with a fake compliment. And because we want to believe in love, in brotherhood, in connection, we allow these cracks to grow. We tell ourselves, maybe they didn't mean it, or they're just going through something. But deep down, our soul always knows when something is off. Most people are not betrayed by strangers. They're betrayed by those they called family, by those they trusted with their secrets, their dreams, their pain. Why? Because trust is the most dangerous gift we give. Once handed over, it can either be protected or weaponized. Imagine two lions playing, full of energy and bonding. Then suddenly, one sinks its teeth in, not out of hunger, but out of envy. That's what fake friendship is. It plays along, mirrors your moves, waits for the right time, and then strikes. It doesn't come from weakness. It comes from hidden resentment. And by the time you notice it, the damage is already done. The hardest lesson in life is not about fighting enemies. It's about recognizing which friend is wearing the mask. It's strange, isn't it? How the wounds from enemies fade faster than the ones left by friends. An enemy's attack is expected. You brace for it. You build walls against it. But a friend's betrayal? That strikes at your very core. Because it doesn't just hurt your body. It wounds your heart, your trust, your very ability to believe in people. Fake friends don't wear signs. They don't show up with knives. They come with laughter, with loyalty painted in their words, with hands stretched out in support. And that's what makes them dangerous. They sit close, listen carefully, not to understand you, but to collect your weaknesses. They memorize your pain, not to heal it, but to use it when it suits them. That is why fake friends hurt more than enemies, because they know exactly where to strike. An enemy wants to defeat you, but a fake friend wants to watch you fall and pretend they had nothing to do with it. It's a slow poison, silent, invisible, and deadly. They whisper behind your back, but smile in your face. They clap for you when you win, but their hearts burn with envy. And when you stumble, they offer a hand, not to lift you, but to remind you that you're down. What makes it worse is that we let them in. We tell them things we never tell anyone. We believe them when they say, "I've got your back." We ignore the signs, the subtle digs, the delayed replies, the shift in energy. We silence our instincts because we crave connection more than protection. And that's the trap. Real enemies are outside the gate. You can see them coming. But fake friends? They live inside the walls. They know your routines, your emotions, your secrets. That's why their betrayal shakes your foundation. Because it forces you to question everything, your judgment, your choices, your worth. The pain isn't just about what they did, it's about the time you gave, the trust you offered, the love you shared. It's about realizing that someone you defended in rooms full of critics was sharpening their knife behind your back. That someone you called brother or sister was only ever a shadow wearing your friend's smile. Healing from an enemy's wound requires courage. But healing from a fake friend's betrayal? That takes strength of another kind. The strength to trust again, to open your heart once more, and to believe that not everyone who smiles is hiding a lie. Betrayal, no matter how painful, is not something new. It's as old as humanity itself. The Stoics understood this well. They didn't deny the sting of deception. They just chose not to be broken by it. For them, betrayal was simply another test of character, another chance to exercise virtue. When someone betrays you, the Stoic does not ask, "Why did this happen to me?" But instead, "How should I respond to this according to reason and virtue?" According to Marcus Aurelius, we should not be surprised when people act selfishly or dishonestly. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." That may sound cold, but it's not bitterness, it's preparation. If you already know betrayal exists, it won't shake your core when it arrives. You meet it with calm, not confusion. The Stoics believed that we cannot control others. We can only control ourselves. If a friend chooses to lie or deceive, that is their action. Your response, your mindset, your inner peace, those are still yours. No one can steal your peace unless you hand it over. So when someone betrays you, ask yourself, what is in my power here? Can I respond with dignity? Can I let go of anger, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because I deserve freedom? Epictetus taught that we suffer more in our minds than in reality. Betrayal hurts, yes, but what keeps hurting us is the endless replay of what happened. We go over their words, their actions, their lies. We try to make sense of what doesn't make sense, but the Stoic way is to accept what is and focus on what's next. You don't need revenge, you don't need closure, you need clarity. Clarity that betrayal does not define you. Clarity that their actions reflect who they are, not who you are. And above all, clarity that every betrayal is a lesson. A painful one, yes, but a valuable one. You learn who truly walks beside you and who only stood in your shadow. So let the Stoics guide you. Don't allow betrayal to turn your heart bitter. Let it make you wiser, more alert, but never less kind. Because losing your goodness over someone else's badness means they won twice. And that, the Stoics would say, is the true tragedy. Not betrayal, but becoming less because of it. They're not always obvious. Fake friends don't come into your life waving red flags. They come with warmth, charm, and carefully chosen words. But over time, their mask slips. And if you pay attention, you'll see the signs. A fake friend is loud when you're low and silent when you're winning. They vanish when you're shining and reappear when you're struggling, not to help, but to see how far you've fallen. They don't celebrate your growth. They feel threatened by it. Every success of yours feels like a failure to them. They ask how you're doing, not because they care, but because they're measuring, comparing, calculating, envying. They talk more than they listen. Your pain becomes a topic. Your secrets become stories. And their loyalty? It has terms and conditions. They only support you when it benefits them. The moment things get difficult or inconvenient, they're gone, like smoke in the wind. Watch how they speak about others, because one day they'll speak the same way about you. If someone is always gossiping, criticizing, or laughing at someone else's failure, It's only a matter of time before you become their next subject. A fake friend collects your flaws, stores your doubts, and waits for the perfect time to use them against you, often in ways that appear subtle, even playful. They compete instead of support. You share a win, and instead of happiness, they change the subject. You express an idea, and they downplay it or steal it. Their ego can't handle your light, so they try to dim it. You'll start to feel smaller around them, not because you are, but because they need you to shrink so they can feel tall. Their energy is unpredictable. Some days they're your biggest fan. Other days they're cold, distant, or passive-aggressive. You're constantly guessing where you stand. That's not friendship. That's emotional manipulation. Real friends bring peace. Fake friends bring confusion. Real friends root for your growth, even if it means you outgrow them. Fake friends pretend to support you, as long as you stay beneath them. The truth? If you often feel drained, doubting yourself, or walking on eggshells around someone, your soul is already telling you what your mind refuses to admit. Listen to that inner voice, because loyalty to a fake friend is betrayal to yourself. Don't let betrayal turn you bitter. Let it make you better. Because once you've seen what fake looks like, you begin to value what's real. And that's where your power begins. Not in cutting everyone off, but in choosing wisely who you let in. Building a strong circle isn't about numbers. It's about depth. One honest lion at your side is better than 1,000 sheep pretending to care. Surround yourself with people who don't just clap when you win, but who stay when you're down, who remind you of your strength when you forget it yourself. Real friends don't need constant attention to stay loyal. They're not threatened by your growth. They water it. They don't compete. They complete. You don't have to second-guess their words or decode their silence. Their presence brings peace, not anxiety. You feel seen. You feel safe. To build that kind of circle, you must become that kind of person. Show up with truth. Speak with clarity. Respect others' time, space, and spirit. Keep your promises. Don't gossip. Don't envy. Protect the room you enter and leave it better than you found it. Like attracts like. Real attracts real. And when you become the kind of person you're looking for, you'll start attracting those who reflect your values back at you. Be okay with outgrowing people. Not everyone is meant to walk with you forever. Some are lessons, some are mirrors, some are detours, and some are anchors, meant to be released so you can rise. Don't confuse history with loyalty. Just because someone's been around doesn't mean they deserve to go forward with you. You deserve a circle where your name is defended in rooms you're not in, where your pain isn't entertainment, where your dreams aren't mocked, where love is real, loyalty is consistent, and support is silent, not performative. The lion doesn't seek a crowd. It seeks strength, silence, and purpose. You're not here to be surrounded by noise. You're here to walk with power, beside those who understand what it means to protect, to uplift, and to stand true when it matters most. So build that circle. Slowly, intentionally, ruthlessly. Not with fear, but with wisdom. Because your peace, your energy, and your purpose are too valuable to be wasted on people who only come for the roar, but not the fight. Trust isn't something you give away lightly, especially after you've been betrayed. But here's the truth. The most powerful trust you can build is with yourself. Because when the world gets loud, when people switch sides, when love turns to silence, it's your own voice that must remain steady. The lion doesn't look around for approval. It doesn't seek validation from the herd. It walks with purpose, not permission. That's the mentality you must adopt. Stop doubting your instincts. Stop explaining your vision. You don't need a committee to confirm your truth. If your soul is speaking, it's reason enough to move forward. You've seen what happens when you ignore your gut. You've felt the sting of trusting the wrong people. Now let that pain become precision. Learn to read the room without asking questions. Feel the shift in energy. Watch what isn't being said. Actions speak. Silence screams. There will be moments when you stand alone, moments when even those you loved walk away or reveal their true face. Don't let that break you. Let it reveal you. Because pressure doesn't just expose weakness, it also activates strength. The lion inside you doesn't wake up during comfort. It awakens during conflict. Start choosing yourself, not in arrogance, but in clarity. Choose your peace over approval. Choose your growth over guilt. Choose your standards over settling. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, and it's not your job to carry people who keep cutting your wings. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. Some won't get it, and that's okay. You're not here to convince. You're here to evolve. Walk with confidence, even when your path feels uncertain. Because confidence isn't knowing everything will go right. It's knowing you'll rise even when it doesn't. Trusting yourself is the ultimate rebellion in a world that profits from your self-doubt. So be the lion. Listen to your roar, not the noise around you. You don't follow the trail, you leave one. And when it gets lonely, remember, it's not because you're lost. It's because you're leading. If you've ever been stabbed by the words of someone you once called a friend, if you've sat in silence wondering how love turned into betrayal, then this is your moment of awakening. Because pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to direct you. Let this be the day you stop chasing people who wouldn't even walk for you. Let this be the day you stop explaining your worth to those who only listen when they need something. You are not meant to beg for loyalty, attention, or honesty. A lion doesn't need to be loud to be respected. It just needs to be real. So cut the noise, clean the circle, sharpen your focus, and trust this. The people who are meant for you will never have to be convinced to stay. They'll show up. They'll be consistent. So cut the noise, clean the circle, sharpen your focus, and trust this. The people who are meant for you will never have to be convinced to stay. They'll show up. They'll be consistent. And they'll match your energy without draining it. Now here's what you need to do. Subscribe, not just to this channel, but to your own power. Hit that bell like you're ringing in a new season of clarity, strength, and purpose. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone stuck in a fake crowd, forgetting who they are. You're not here to blend in with the sheep. You're here to lead like a lion. Remember, silence doesn't mean weakness. Kindness doesn't mean blindness, and love, real love, never disguises itself as betrayal. So rise, roar, and walk like the king or queen you were born to be.